Hello and welcome back to the Game Bet Match Podcast. I'm your host, Manny Friedman, along with my co-host.
Brad Sloan.
All right, back in the house, baby, for the next Masters 1000 in Madrid. Barcelona, Banja, Luka, and Munich are in the books. It was an exciting week. Um, Anything you want to add?
Was it a really exciting week for you? I got destroyed. Like it was a
Uh,
horrible weekend.
to me, in tennis, every week is exciting, but I wasn't talking about betting. I was just talking about like tennis.
There were players playing tennis.
Yeah, there are players playing tennis, so it was an exciting week, and we have a smile on our face. But yeah, betting wise, not so much. I did hit some great NBA playoff and hockey
Oh,
parlay.
so that's the frustrating thing actually. It's like so not I don't really bet it as much because I'm just clueless on it. But like the
Uh-huh.
hockey's been amazing. The basketball's been
Yes.
decent. The hockey's been amazing.
Uh-huh.
But it's been amazing. Like the Heat could actually beat the Bucks.
I
They're up
know.
3-1,
That's crazy. It's great.
which
Jimmy
I would
Butler
love to
won
see.
for 56 points today.
Yeah, yeah.
Insane.
Butler won that game himself. Like it was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so recently I've been doing way better with the betting on that than I have with the tennis. So it's actually increased my bankroll to, for tennis, but it is what it is. I guess you win some, you lose some, but
Yeah.
yeah. All right, so we definitely know more about tennis than basketball and hockey, even though we've been enjoying the Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about Munich. Or no, I'm sorry. Actually, before we get into that, I actually want to do some French Open futures. Um, so right now you get Alcaraz at plus 140, Djokovic at plus 210 is what I saw him last time. I think Nadal is at like plus 450 now. Is that what you saw last time you checked?
I haven't even checked in. I haven't checked in like several days. I can go check now.
Yeah, Alcaraz is
But
plus 140, Djokovic plus 240, Nadal plus 450, Tsitsipas plus 800, Rune plus 900, Sinner plus 1100, Rublev plus 2500, as well as Rude and Zverev. So, I guess the first thing we should talk about is Djokovic. I mean, it was kind of a weak performance this week. Lost to
he's
Lajovic in three
hurt. I mean,
sets.
he's hurt, and so it just depends on like at least he looks hurt. I'm sure he's hurt because he's not playing Madrid. So it's just like it's like when is he going to get healthy, and will he get healthy, and will he be in enough form? I mean, plus 210, but I don't think plus 210 is very good. Like plus
That's
210
plus
is kind of
240.
crappy. Or
It's
plus
plus 240 now.
240, that still is crappy. Like even if he's healthy, that's not great for Djokovic on clay, in my opinion. Like that, like if he's at full health, that's an okay odds. It's not amazing. Um, it's just like it's really hard to win the French Open,
If he's in
which is
full health, that's an amazing price. Like I'm actually
I don't think so at all.
no.
Like no, because Alcaraz is still in the draw. Like I give him like if there was no Alcaraz, I'd say like he should be like plus 150 or something. If there's no Alcaraz and he's fully healthy, to me, Alcaraz could definitely beat him, which definitely takes
Yeah.
him to something way worse than like 150. And that's even if he was healthy. I think 250 would be fine or 240 would be fine if he was healthy. But like not with these question marks. Like
Has he disclosed what the injury actually is? Is there like a
I
true
haven't heard
elbow
anything on it.
problem?
I haven't heard him even say that he has an injury, but it just seems obvious. Like there's just too many signs, right? Like he's not serving like he usually does. Um, he's not serving like he usually does. He came out with the compression sleeve one match. He had to. There was the weird video of him, like with the like with I don't know. There's been so much. He's not playing Madrid. Like, there's so much that tells you he's hurt, even if he's not out there saying it like himself. It's just to me like it's like so obvious.
Yeah, but to me, it's like, why would he? I understand it's for his foundation. I understand that, it's like kind of in it's not in his home country, but it's his home tournament. Um, I don't know why he would even consider playing there if he was like even a little bit hurt. Like I don't know.
Then what
Because
is the other explanation for all? I mean, there's no other explanation for it though. Why else would he play this and not Madrid?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just a little bit worried. Like if you want to hit Djokovic, if he turns up at Rome and he's like healthy again, I feel like that line is going to go down to 200. And I know you
I mean,
don't
that's
think.
fine. I'm willing to risk that. Like, I don't even think I have no interest in Djokovic at 200 as long as Alcaraz is playing, period. Now, if Alcaraz is out, then Djokovic at 200 is fine. But I have no interest in Djokovic at 200
So
if
do you think
Alcaraz is
there's
playing.
so switching over? Do you think there's value at plus 140 for Alcaraz?
No, because Djokovic, like, that plus 140 is assuming there's no Djokovic in the draw. Like, not no Djokovic in the draw, but assuming that Djokovic isn't healthy. If Djokovic, like, there's a chance he could get healthy in 4 weeks, some another month until the French, another
I
five
don't
weeks till the French.
necessarily agree with that because prior to this week, thinking Djokovic was healthy, Djokovic was like minus 120 or plus
And
120.
I
Press was
and I
plus
have no
150.
interest in that. I think you got to look deep down further in the field. Like, it's really hard to win the French Open. Like, unless you're Rafa Nadal and you're by far the greatest player in the history of clay, clay court tennis. Like, it's really hard to win the French Open.
Yeah. But Alcaraz's price hasn't gone down that much. Like it's kind of stuck at plus 140, plus 150, even with Djokovic's injury. So that's why I
I
actually think there's value on him. If you think that like Djokovic is not going to be ready, not going to be fully fit for the French, I actually think plus 140 is not a bad price, especially with Nadal not nowhere where to be seen. Like who's going to beat Alcaraz? Like you just saw in Barcelona in the final, the gap between Alcaraz and Tsitsipas, who's probably the third best clay court player. You know,
so Norrie almost beat him in Golden Swing, right? And obviously, like Alcaraz, after he almost beat him once and he beat him another time. Like, I mean, I guess I would go to Golden Swing and say, like, look how many guys took sets off him in Golden Swing. Obviously, taking a set off in a Golden Swing in a 500 is different than winning a slam. But like,
but he
clay
was
court
also
tennis is
coming off an injury of his own over there.
true, but it's just like it's really hard to win the French Open, and like you've got to win 7 matches in a row.
Best of five.
Yeah, 7 best-of-5s in a row. I get it. I get the appeal. Like, I mean, I don't have a player, and I guess like there's guys out there if they play well could beat him, right? Like Rune, right? I would take Rune. I mean, Rune, like if he's playing well and if he keeps it together mentally, could, right?
Mentally, he's too weak. Like even in the Munich final against VDZ, you saw him getting tight, very tentative. Like that's just it just want against like Alcaraz, if he plays him, like that just won't cut it, you know? Like he's gonna have to be way tougher than what he's shown. Like losing 4-1 to Rublev in Monte Carlo. Like that just won't cut it against Alcaraz, you know? It
Well, I
didn't
mean,
even
obviously,
it
this is not
didn't it
going to cut
didn't
against
yeah,
Alcaraz, but like,
it didn't cut it against Rublev, you know? So that's not gonna cut it against Alcaraz. So there's nothing. Sinner's fitness is a question mark, right?
I'm not saying that anybody else. Like, I'm not saying it's because any one guy's going to beat him. I'm saying like this becomes like, do you take the 127 players in the field versus Alcaraz at that price? And I take the 127 in the field just because like he could have an off. I mean, okay, I get it. He wasn't as good of a player last year here, but Ramos Vinolas had match point on him last year here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, I can't. I don't like any of these top odds. Like, honestly, these outrights, they honestly to me they all kind of look crappy. Like,
So
I
what
think
price? So before the French Open draws out, what price would you need on both Alcaraz and Novak to hit those?
right
Yeah.
now as we speak,
Hmm.
I would need like 450 to 500 at least on Novak.
Whoa. Holy crap.
And well, because we don't know if he's healthy,
Okay. All right.
right? So yeah, I mean, I mean, which is me basically saying I'm not interested on Alcaraz. Not that much, maybe like 200, 250. I don't think the book is, I mean, I think the book is just factoring in juice. You know what I mean? I just think the 150 I think like the book is taking juice obviously on these bets, and like you're just getting killed by the juice.
To me, I'm
Um,
getting close on Novak. If I get plus 270 to plus 300, I'm hitting it. And with Alcaraz, if I get plus 160 to 170, I would hit it too. So I'm closer
okay.
than you. I just like to me, I just don't see anyone beating Alcaraz right now. Like as we speak right now. Like even Djokovic, a 90% Djokovic, to me, not 100%, but like even an 80% Djokovic has the best chance in my eyes over any of the other guys. So just because of track record and just because like I just don't trust any of the other guys right now.
I
Like
mean, Rude's looked awful, but he was the finalist last year and was a
oh
two swim
he's
finalist
playing
last
he's
year.
playing so bad. Like he's
I
no
know.
chance.
Rune has the skills. It's just a matter of mentally can he keep it
I don't
together.
trust him mentally.
Zverev's the same thing.
Zverev, who just lost to O'Connell in his home country. I mean that's not French Open winning material. I'm sorry.
Musetti. I mean, like Musetti's probably not really a threat to win, but he could beat anybody on any given day.
If he plays him in the first or second round, okay, but not like even third or
Why
fourth
not? Didn't
round.
Musetti was up 2 sets against Novak?
Yeah, but I mean, 2 years ago, and I don't know. It's like even in a best of three set match in Barcelona, like he was competitive against Tsitsipas, and then he just went totally away. You add two more sets to that.
The third set was a one break set.
Yeah, it felt further away. You know, like if they played a fourth set, that would be 6-1. So I just don't see anyone. Like
I don't know. I think I mean, FAA obviously hasn't we haven't seen FAA in months, but maybe FAA. Like he took 2 sets off Nadal out last year and played well at the French. He
plus
played well
six
that match. I
thousand.
don't what
He's plus 6,000
like
FAA.
that. I mean, I wouldn't hit that right now because I want to see him play first, and I think you could
Yeah.
watch him play this Madrid tournament. Well, I don't really care that much about Madrid because I don't think it's that similar to Roland Garros. It's more
Yeah.
the Rome I'm interested in, but like I mean, but I'm just saying guys who are scary, right? Like I can name 10 to 20 guys who are scary players who could win. I'm not saying any of these guys are like favored. I'm saying like they could win. And so and not win the tournament, but they could beat Alcaraz or Novak. So like
I think you have way more faith in the field. Like if you gave me a Alcaraz or Djokovic versus the field, even with Djokovic not really being healthy, I take Alcaraz Djokovic at this present moment.
I would if I knew that Djokovic was in decent, semi decent form. Like, but like this is, I mean, this Djokovic is not anywhere close to anything. This Djokovic is playing like not
No.
even top 50 tennis. So I can't back that. I mean, and if he's hurt and we don't know what the injury is, we don't know how long it's going to take. Like, we don't know how long it's going to take to recover. Like, there's so much unknown. It's just a complete unknown. Like you'd think if he's playing, it's not that bad, but it could be bad. We don't know.
Yeah. All right,
Um,
interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I'm monitoring these prices pretty closely. I don't think they're going to move too much to be honest in the next
no.
week,
The
but
problem is like looking down the field, like
yeah.
nothing else is really interesting either. Like Rune at 12, Tsitsipas at 650. Eh. Like
So we'll we'll
FA
we'll,
at 50.
we'll get into Sissipas, but like I think Match.9 retweeted this. Like Sissipas's backhand is actually a big liability against players that are not like top 10 or top 15 or top 20. He's fine, but even with this shoulder thing that he was going through, like against Alcaraz, it was totally exposed. Every time he let the ball short, um, it would be a winner. And what a little bit concerning is like why wasn't Tsitsipas running for those drop shots?
I
Like
mean, they were pretty well disguised. Like, I don't know. I agree, but like it's also
it was
what
one break in
500.
each set, but it was so far. Like he was so far away.
There was a
It wasn't
massive gap.
even
Like
close.
there was a massive gap. Yeah, I agree with you. Like this isn't. I'm not saying that Tsitsipas was close to winning that set. or that match. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I even like him at 650 because he looked so bad and he hasn't looked good
Yeah.
recently. Like, I just
He's
like,
going
I
to
don't
have
know.
problems playing against anyone who hits big on both wings. He had problems with Fritz, in
Yeah.
Monte Carlo. He had problems with Alcaraz. He's going to have problems with Rune. If Rune plays him, I'm gonna back Rune there.
I just feel like looking at it right now from a betting perspective, like, I don't think there's an open market that, or I don't think there's a market here that has value.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm getting close on the Alcaraz Djokovic lines, but I'm not quite there yet. But I'm definitely closer than you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
But
probably just gonna be sitting it out, which is
probably
kind
sit
of sad.
out the futures. Yeah, I mean, if you see the draw, like if it was the draw we had at last year's French with Medvedev and Tsitsipas on one side of the draw and everyone else on the other side. I mean, it won't happen this year because Djokovic and Alcaraz will be on
Oh, even
opposite
then, I don't think I
sides.
would take Tsitsipas at 700
Yeah.
right now. Like, there's just too many guys who could beat him. And then even if he gets into a final, he's probably like, like plus 300 or plus 400. Like, it's just not, I just don't think it's very good. Like, it's just going to be like a really, I don't know. The book has this one pretty, I think, well set out. Like I said, unless
Mhm.
something moves far, because like you're absolutely right. Like, there's nobody else I trust to win the tournament besides Alcaraz or Djokovic. But like at the same time, I guess like they could both have like with Djokovic's form being questionable, Alcaraz could be beaten on an off day. He's been beaten this year.
Yeah, the only like thing that gives me a little bit of like cause to pause on Alcaraz is like how good of a slam player is he really? Because he had that one run in at the US Open where he won 5 sets against everyone, pretty much. But then before then went 5 sets against ARV, quarterfinal loss to Zverev where he was just like over amped up, I felt in that match. And then the fourth round loss to Sinner at Wimbledon, third round loss to Berrettini at the Australian. So like there's not really much slam sample size, I would say.
But those aren't terrible losses either, to be honest. Like those are all like not horrendous
But
losses.
we're
It's
judging
just
him by the highest of highest standards, right?
yeah,
Can he win the tournament? That's how we're judging him. We're not judging him like, can you make a final or can you make a semi?
yeah.
So it's, I don't know. But all right, let's get into the three events. So as far as Munich went, what about Holger Rune? So he's the champion there, the back-to-back champion. I think he came back from 5-1 in the third set against
Yeah,
VDC,
either 5-1 or yeah, I think
right?
yeah, two breaks down in the third. Um, so I mean, it seemed like he rolled his ankle and hurt his shoulder in the third set,
Yeah,
and he still won. Um, so but Bodic just choked.
he did.
Like that was a choke.
Well, see now, like I'm looking to fade VDZ going forward, especially in Madrid.
Maybe in
Because
Madrid, but I'm actually the other way. Like I think VDC's had a better like we've bashed VDC a lot, but
yeah,
he's been like kind of okay this year. Like that was his second final. He made the final in Pune. Um, like he's
but
been kind of decent.
I agree. He's been fine, but don't you think that a loss like this is gonna drain him so much mentally that
It might not.
there's a
Like you have a
hangover
valid
effect?
point. I'll definitely fade him. I'm definitely with you on terms of fading him this match, like is in upcoming in Madrid.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know that like it's gonna like hurt him for like months. Like it could, right? But like I don't know. I
That's as
mean,
bad of a loss as you're ever gonna get in a final to win your first title.
I guess. I mean, was it that much worse than Rune's loss to Rublev?
It's a little bit different because Rune has won a Masters 1000 before. He's won an ATP title before. So I just think that it's a little bit easier to get over that for him.
Yeah, but that was in a slam, right? Whereas this was in a 250 in Munich, where like, I mean, yeah, it's cool to win a title, but I don't know.
Yeah. Who does VDZ play in the first round of Madrid?
Well, he's probably a seed, right? So he
He's
probably
a
plays
seed,
nobody.
yeah. So he would play.
Bye. He'll win that match.
He
He's
has a
probably a
bye.
better player.
Yeah. I'm just curious who he could play in the second round, though. Uh, Either Laszlo Gire or a qualifier.
So probably Gire.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, that's a tough first round
It's a
match. I
tough,
mean, I
yeah,
would probably take Gire. I'll probably hit Gire
probably.
money line there once that comes
Yeah,
out.
right. Yeah. Yeah, VDZ is definitely I'm gonna fade him. Especially in Madrid.
But actually, you know what? I don't know, man. I actually won't because like here's the thing is like so I guess this is where we start talking Madrid because it just happens to be the next tournament.
Yeah.
But it's this is an altitude tournament, right? It plays faster because of the altitude. VDC served, I thought, really well this week until he had to close out the match against Rune. He served pretty well. So I think he actually I think his game plays up here compared to Clay. And like books are gonna look at this. I don't know if the books will or not, but like it's possible the books will look at this or the market will look at this as a regular clay court event, and it's not.
Yeah, it's quite fast, right? And high bouncing.
Yeah, because of the altitude.
So last year, VDZ lost to GoFan in the third round. Beat
Okay.
beat Carreno Busta in 3 sets in the first round. I'm just curious to see how he's done in Madrid in the past. The year before, he didn't play. And yeah, I think he's only played once because he was
Yeah, because it's pretty recent that he
yeah,
became like a mainstay on the tour.
right, right. So yeah, I just think like it's not nothing about the surface, nothing about the conditions. I just think it's going to be hard for him to come back after that kind of loss so quickly.
I get it, but I think now you've got things pointing in both directions. Like we'll have to say, obviously, it'll depend on what the line is, but if the line's not taking into account the speed of these courts, you're going to have like factors pointing in both directions, which makes it tough to. You've got to figure. I
I
mean,
don't. I think this mental spot.
okay,
I think that takes precedent over the court conditions and
okay.
anything else. So that's just how I view it. And I'm hoping
Yeah,
the
I
guy
mean, that's literally like it's just how you weight the factors, right? Like as long as
right.
you're like recognizing the factors exist, it's just how you weight them.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about Taylor Fritz? So another good week in Munich. Lost to BDZ in the semifinals.
Yeah, not a bad week, right? Like a decent week. I mean, this is what you would expect for a guy who's a top 10 player.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's not as good on clay, it's probably like one of his, a tougher tournament than most for him. But like, I don't know, like fine.
Getting better,
Like,
but he's like struggling to win in the later rounds. Like that's
oh, I mean, I
you
don't
know,
mean he's, I mean, I don't know. Like Monte Carlo was a really good run.
that was a good one.
This to me wasn't as great, but it's like a backing up. Remember he lost the first set to Fusevitz. And
Right.
then he beat Team, which is like isn't that exciting? So like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, look, he's playing better on clay than he was in the past. He continues to make improvements to his game, but I don't know. Losing to VDZ here isn't really a great loss either. So
No, that's true. That's true. And then Zverev. To me, he's back on the fade list. Way to go, buddy. You're back on the list.
I don't know. I don't think so here. I mean, I'm
Lost to O'Connell, just looked lifeless. I don't know. Something is missing with the guy.
I don't know. I mean, this is his second weird loss of the year, right? He had a weird loss against Taro Daniel as well.
This is his
He had
home
a second
country.
weird loss in recent times. Right? Like the first set of losses in January and Feb aren't weird because he was coming back off the injury.
And then
in
the
my
other
mind,
two losses were like three sets against Medvedev, both crazy matches. Like that you kind of have to throw out. I feel like I feel like the losses to Daniel and this week to O'Connell, those are more clear indicators of where his level is actually
Oh,
at.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to disagree with that take because like he also had he did pick up wins in Indian Wells. He got a couple wins in Monte Carlo. Not amazing wins. Like I mean, obviously Bublik isn't really even worth talking about, but Agut's kind of a legitimate win. Um,
But he was
Rusevori in
struggling
Indian
up to
Wells.
that point, Agut.
What?
He's got getting a little better, but he was struggling prior to that. So I don't view that as a good win.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he should have beat Medvedev both times. It was also like Medvedev also didn't play well in either match. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm somewhere in between on him. Like, I guess like let me pull up like how deep of a fade are you when you're talking fade? He's on the fade list. Like, how deep of a fade is it?
He's not like Shapovalov fade or Schwartzman fade, but he's on there. He's on there somewhere.
Money line. Okay, money line. Demonor versus Zverev. Who are you taking?
On clay,
Yeah.
I'm taking Zverev there.
Zverev versus Musetti.
Musetti.
Zverev versus Tommy Paul.
3-set line.
Zverev versus Hurkacz.
Her catch.
I mean, because
Oh,
that's the guys 15 to 20 right there. Zverev and those guys. So, like, I don't know. I think his ranking is like pretty
okay, put
indicative.
ADF versus Zverev. I'm taking ADF at the moment. Her catch Zverev.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean,
Her,
ADF is so all over the place. I love ADF and like overs and like over 12.5. I think ADF is great. But
uh-huh.
like he battles, but man, he just makes so many bad errors.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I can tell you if Zverev was playing Rublev right now on clay or Fritz on clay, I would lay
Yeah, but
the
those are top 10 guys, Manny. Like, we agree he's not top 10. I'll give you that. Like, I'm like, but like when you're saying he's on the fade list, is he outside the top 25?
I so w- like those guys you mentioned, those are all like good questions, right? But to me, also Zverev can lose to anyone. And that's my point when I say fade him, because he can lose to a ton of guys. He's been losing to Taro Daniel and Christopher O'Connell, you know? So
Yeah, I don't know. I
that's to
mean,
me, that's proof that like he can lose any match. Like if he plays a guy in the top 70, he could
yeah,
beat
like I
them.
said, the loss to Taro was weird. It was just weird, like with the
Okay.
whole
All right.
needing insulin
Fair.
injections, yada yada thing. Like that was weird. The loss to O'Connell, like, is also kind of weird, right? Like first round of a tournament, right? First match he played in Munich. Does he need to win his home tournament? I don't know. He's not really a German. He's as Russian as he is German. I don't know.
Yeah, but like so say if he played Luka Van Ash, for example, right? There's no way I'm laying games with Zverev. I'm
Oh, I would.
You
I'd
would?
lay yeah, like 3.5, 4 games. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know about that.
maybe not the first round of a tournament because it seems like it's a little scary, but like, I don't know.
If he were to play Wawrinka, would you feel confident laying games with Zverev right
How
now?
many?
Like 3.5, 4?
Yeah, I mean, but Frank is playing really well.
If he was playing Laszlo Giri, these are all guys like in the 60s and 70s range that can play clay tennis. Like Echeverry, I'd probably take Echeverry money line at plus like 300. So like that's what I mean. Like he can lose to anyone. Just because like I feel like
Yeah,
he's not fully
yeah,
confident in his
but
game.
he also could beat almost anyone.
Yeah, he can beat anyone, but that doesn't mean he will. And if you have a chance with the other guy at like plus 300 odds, I'm taking that.
No, I'm saying he could even beat the guys above him. Like,
Mm, Who? Okay, Nori
Fritz.
maybe yes because he's been in a rough run of form, but
I think
maybe
Fritz versus Zverev is probably slightly Fritz. Um, but if Zverev's playing well, like if he comes out and he's playing well, I think that's a close match against Fritz.
yeah,
Tiafo, Kachanov, he could beat those guys, and those that's 10, 11, and 12.
it's close with those guys.
Okay, so it's close with the guys directly. So again, like it's close with all the guys that are around him in ranking. So it seems like he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm okay. Maybe he's a fade against guys that are low ranked. Like if he's a favorite, I want to fade him as a favorite kind of thing.
Okay, okay,
That's how I'm looking at it. If
okay.
he plays a higher ranked guy, I'll weigh maybe their head to
I
head.
think
I'll weigh
maybe,
certain factors.
yeah.
And also Zverev, when there's a little bit less pressure, he tends to play better. I feel like so when he plays a like a higher rank guy or a guy around his ranking, like where he doesn't feel the pressure of losing, I feel like he plays a little better.
Yeah,
Pressure
maybe. I
gets to
mean,
Zverev. He's a mentally weak guy. He's
oh,
mentally
I disagree with that. I mean, we talk like he's been clutch and he's been unclutch. Like he's just like he's kind of all over the place. He's a little more maybe like unhinged, but I don't know. I wouldn't say he's mentally weak. I would put him in like you don't know what his mental status is going to be on any given day.
okay.
Like he's won big matches.
Yeah, but I'm also talking post injury.
I mean, so you're talking about two chokes versus Medvedev.
That was mentally weak.
Okay, so I'm not saying he's never shown mental weakness, but like I'm not going to
He's,
take two matches and now call him mentally weak.
I think they're like I could count on my hands how many times he was mentally strong, and I can't count on my hands how many times he was mentally weak. I can give you so many examples when he was mentally weak, but like couple examples he was mentally strong: ATP finals, Olympics. Is there anything else? Maybe Cincinnati against Tsitsipas when Tsitsipas was going to the bathroom all the time. I mean, okay, and that to me
Yeah, so
that's
like
about it.
that's not bad. I mean, that's a again, that's a, like what are the standards for Zverev that we're judging him against?
Yeah, pretty high standards. I mean, he has ambitions of winning a slam. Everyone thought he was like the next like golden child back in 17. There was huge hype for him when he was a young guy, you know, incredible talent. I mean, the standards are quite high, you know.
Are the standards still there at that level post injury? Because like if you're asking me if he's competitive with the top guys in the world right now, like probably not. Because I don't think Medvedev was playing at a top level in those matches and where they were close matches. But if you're asking me like, but I don't think anybody's saying right now that Zverev's top 5 or top 10 in the world. Like if you're asking me if he's top 20, yeah, he probably is. Like it's just like there's not that many guys who are top. I mean, you have to name 20 guys in the top 20. Like you get to Zverev pretty quickly.
Okay, so I just revised my statement. Like he's a clear fade against lower ranked guys who have weapons and who can hurt
So
him.
it is interesting. He's 12-8 in his last 20 against guys outside the top 50, which is kind of interesting. So I guess that kind of does play to your statement.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, it's an interesting discussion. I think.
it's an interesting discussion. I think it's the problem is like you have to really define your terms here, right? And I guess that's my biggest
Yeah.
point. Like because like yeah, it's easy to say like this guy is a clear fade, and then like this keeps happening. Like well, I'm like, oh, this guy's a fade, and then the book comes out the line, and it's like, okay, well, the book agrees, and so I don't make any value there. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like they're guys that play Shapovalov. Like Shapovalov, I guess is kind of similar because like if he's a favorite, I'm gonna take the opponent no matter who it is. You know? So and like, but if Shapovalov is an underdog, I'm not gonna like fade him.
Yeah.
I guess you really can't, but like I'm not I actually think it's dangerous to bet the favorite in that matchup because of his talent,
Yeah. I hear you. I
right?
hear you.
Whereas I think Zverev is kind of the same right now. Like if he's the favorite in a match, like I don't think it's that difficult to take the opponent, you know?
I think it depends. Like, I'm looking at it, right? Like, so his recent, like, I'm going to throw out everything up until the Australian Open because he was just bad, right? Or up even through Davis Cup because he was just
Okay.
bad. But since then, like, Rotterdam, he lost to Greek Spore, right? In the second round.
Mhm.
Um, which Greek Spore is a good player in his home country in Rotterdam. I don't think that's a terrible loss. Lost
Mhm.
to Murray in Doha. Murray had that was when Doha. I think that was when Murray made that great run.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, Zverev could have won that match, probably should have, but
Mhm.
again, like, not terrible. Murray was playing well at that time. Um,
Dubai lost to Rublev.
right. Dubai lost to Rublev. Right, right. Um,
Indian Wells lost to Medvedev.
yeah, but like none of those aren't terrible. I mean, right? Like the only losses that are terrible are Taro Daniel, which is in the first round, and Munich was in the first, and O'Connell in the first round. So I think like he's a guy who like maybe you have to watch out with him in the first round of tournaments because maybe like I guess maybe you don't know how seriously he's taking the tournament. Like that calls into play now for me.
Okay.
Is like how's
That's
like
fair.
what what are his, especially if his ambitions are slams, right? Because like at this point he's won a Masters, he's won a World Tour Finals. So like
Yeah, but he's still trying to gain fitness and confidence after that injury, and I think he's not really in the place where he can just like pick and choose what tournaments he wants to try hard
yeah,
at.
I guess like I said, that loss to Daniel was so weird. Like it seemed like something was up there.
Yeah.
Um, it's always weird when guys lose in the first round of tournaments, where especially like I imagine in his home country he got a massive. I don't know what the appearance fee was, but I imagine he got a massive appearance fee. So like who knows? Like I don't know. Again, it's not about like once he takes the court, does he want to win? It's like it's more that like in order to like succeed in a tennis tournament, like it takes a lot of effort before the like right like it depends how are you training for the event. Even like what are you, like the night before the event, are you into club or are
Yeah.
you into bed? Like
Yeah. And I think
right,
Zverev
if you're into
spends
club,
quite a
that's
bit of
not going to
time
help
at the
your tennis
club.
match. What?
Zverev does spend quite a bit of time at the club. I think that's
Right.
pretty obvious. So
So like
yeah.
maybe he was into club, and especially like in his home tournament, like maybe he's like, hey, I'm here. I get my paycheck. I don't really want to go that long anyways here because I don't
That's
want
not
to
really
wear
the
myself down for
German
Madrid.
mentality. If he's truly
Zverev's not German.
huh?
Zverev's not German. He's Russian.
Okay, but I mean, there's a German flag next to his name. So, I mean, the German mentality, aren't they like hardworking and they like, train really hard and stuff?
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't really live up to that.
He doesn't.
So
He's more like a Safin type.
Safin at least smashed his rackets on the ground, not on chair umpire's feet.
He usually smashes his rackets on the ground. That was a one-time thing.
Yeah. All right. That's enough Zverev. So let's go to Banja Luka. So we did touch on
Is
Djokovic
there anything else to talk about in
in Munich.
yeah. Trying to
Oh,
think here. Trying to go back and look at some results, see if there's anything else that caught my eye.
not too much. I mean, last time we joined you was the round of 16.
Yeah.
It's the last three rounds, the quarters, semis, and finals, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. Let me just
that's
take a quick
about
look.
it.
See if there's anything else that I'm thinking of here. Um
What were your best bets in that
oh,
tournament?
your own. I lost.
Oh,
I went 1-1 on your own. I lost another your own bet against VDZ.
just gotta stop betting the guy, man.
I know.
But
I
the thing
know.
is, we saw good price on him. Like, what was it? Plus
It was
220?
plus 210. I'm not upset. It was plus 210. I think the line was exactly right in retrospect. So it wasn't like a terrible bet. It wasn't a great bet. It was kind of in between. Yeah, I got nothing else here. Your one was more of a comedy line.
My best bets of this tournament was Rune -4 against O'Connell. I thought that was pretty good, and then VDZ +4 against Rune. So yeah,
Okay.
Rune struggles in finals. I think that's like he gets tight.
I don't know if he actually got tight. Like I know you're gonna say it like he got tight, but I don't know how bad. I don't know how his shoulder is. I haven't heard anything about his shoulder either. He was complaining about it during the match. I don't know. I'm actually gonna give him a pass for this final.
Well, he came back and won, so I guess we can't really say anything.
Well, I mean, we could because it was not good tennis.
It was not good
But I'm
tennis,
gonna,
and
I'm
I
gonna, I'm
think he
gonna
was
say
down
that Rune.
5-1.
What?
He was down 5-1 and also lost the second set 6-1, which is
It was
not.
still an ugly comeback. Like he was not playing good tennis. Like it was just Bodic was just choking every like as much as he possibly could.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like. And so with Rune, I also think is it a fitness question with Rune also?
Slightly.
Like it seems like so like I don't know, like right? Because if you look at finals or you look at like late tournament runs, right? So like this match, he got hurt right in Munich. Monte Carlo, not sure what happened against Rublev. I didn't see the match, but it's believable that he could have run out of gas a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, Acapulco, he completely
Oh,
gassed out against Demonor.
right.
Um,
Yeah, there definitely is some fitness concerns. And I just think like shot selection, this is a combination
there's
of
a whole
everything.
there's a whole another
Maturity.
set of issues there. Yeah, yeah.
So he does have holes. Like he has incredible talent, but he does have a ton of holes. Like he's far away from his self-proclaimed big three, which he says he's a part of with Sinner and Alcaraz.
But not Djokovic. Djokovic is not. Djokovic is not one of the three best players in the game. I would actually put
Right.
him somewhere around 38, about somewhere around 83 right now. I think in the
Yeah.
rankings.
Medvedev too. I think he's out of the top 100, right?
I don't know. I mean, Medvedev has a couple wins over Zverev recently, so I put him. I
Okay.
put him in
All
the
right.
top 10, bottom of the top 10, but definitely not top three.
He just completely bypasses Medvedev, and it's like, oh, big three: V, Alcaraz, and Sinner.
He completely bypassed Djokovic. Like that's
Yeah,
the one
that
that's
too.
amazing. Like the guy who won the last what 2 slams he's played in, and the
Yeah.
slam before that lost a tough match. He like was probably the second best player in that slam.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Banja Luka. So we did talk about, I guess, Djokovic. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if he turns up in Rome. I'm really curious to see that and if he puts a couple wins together there. But that's going to be the telltale sign of how he's going to be feeling for the French Open.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about Dusan Lajovic. What a win!
Yeah. What a win. I don't think it's
Yeah.
terribly interesting. Like, so this is like the dream tournament for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so is Banja Luka in Serbia or is it in
No, it's in
Croatia?
it's in Bosnia, Bosnia and
Bosnia.
Herzegovina.
Okay, but it still
Yeah,
is in
they
that area of the
alternate they
world.
alternate locations with Bosnia and
Belgrade,
Belgrade.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it still is basically his home tournament because Bosnia doesn't really have much of a tennis thing going. I think
Yeah, it was a
is
it was a pretty partisan crowd.
yeah. I mean, what does Bosnia have for tennis? Is Zoomer Bosnian?
Yeah.
And I think that's all they have pretty much.
Yeah.
So I mean, so basically what I'm going with this is like it's basically his home tournament because they're going to back anybody who's
Yeah.
Yugoslavian. And
I feel like you can argue though why I think it's a really good run for him is that he had the toughest draw possible, to be honest. To play Krajinovic first round. Okay, Barrere is not a clay court player, so that's an easy second round match. But then to play Djokovic, Kecmanovic, and Rublev in that weak draw, that's
Well, but
pretty impressive.
it's not really a real Djokovic, right? That's like a Djokovic who's playing like literally top. I mean, he lost a set to Van Ash the first round, so like I don't really think that's a like that. I mean, I get it. He's beat.
I still think putting him away and winning the points, like the clutch points in that second set tiebreak, I think there is something to be said about it still, even if it's like 50% Djokovic.
There's something to be said, but I don't think it's like I don't think it's amazing. It's Krajinovic, I mean
Yeah.
that's a match. That's probably a coin flip match.
Hmm.
But where he should be, Djokovic is probably a coin flip match. He probably should win that match where he's at, where Djokovic is at right now. So he beat Kecmanovic and he beat Rublev. What I was amazed by with Lajovic is that he played as well as he did against Rublev, given he went 2.5 hours versus Djokovic and 3 hours versus Kecmanovic. I thought that was the impressive part, was actually the fitness part. And
Yeah,
he was gassed.
You hit the Rublev
hard.
alternate line, right? At -5.5.
Yeah, well, I thought Lajovic was going to gas out hard for that final, and he actually showed up. So good on him. Like that was
Yeah.
impressive. But like, so not only is it a partisan crowd, but like this court was so slow. It plays to that one-handed backhand, which is like that's by far his best shot. He actually is a pretty impressive shot.
Hmm.
But he needs time because he takes a
Yeah, he
big swing
does.
at it. Like it feels like the dream, like a slow court that's made for him. Partisan crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened to Rublev in the final. Like I watched a little bit of it, but not that much.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm not sure what happened to Rublev there. But like, other than that, like not a. I mean, I guess beating Catch or not, yeah, beating
Kecmanovic.
Kecmanovic is good. That's a good win, and beating Rublev is obviously a great win.
Yeah, he
But
came
again,
back
for
in that
Rublev,
second
that's like
set
what?
against Kecmanovic. He was down, I think, a set in the break.
Yeah, but there were so many breaks in this tournament that hardly the break part hardly matters. He was
Yeah.
down a set, um, but Rublev kind of played himself out too because he played all the way through Monte Carlo and then showed up here.
Hmm. Yeah, he's played a lot of tennis
So
recently. Both guys did. So
so I
yeah.
don't think like it's cool. I like Lajovic. I'm happy he won a tournament. Good for him, but it's not like this isn't telling me anything moving forward. And I actually think he's a hard fade for Madrid. Hard fade.
Against Kubler,
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think this is one of those spots you can actually get a fade against the book because like
Kubler's just so bad on clay, though. I know this is not true clay and there's altitude, but do you really like even there? Do you trust him? I don't know.
it's more that I think this plays terribly for Lajovic. And so like I think Kubler might be a dog. Like that line's out, right? Like what is the line there?
That line is out. I know we're gonna go through first round matches, but let's check this line.
Yeah, we can check one line here.
Yeah. Let's see. Uh Lajovic is -165, a 2.5 game favorite against Kubler. Kubler's plus
That seems to me to
145.
be, yeah, I mean, that seems to me to tell me take Kubler, man.
Not me. Not me. I just don't trust Kubler on clay at all. I think the movement is a big problem for him on clay. Like he just doesn't know how to move on it.
I don't disagree with that take. This is a slightly pro Kubler take because like this he'll get a little more speed out of the court, so it's a little better than it would be if he was playing in like other clay. But like this is like it's a speed adjustment for Lajovic. It's a mental letdown spot. Like everything about this spot just says Lajovic comes out and plays terrible. Like I don't even hate the idea of like going Kubler 2-0 here. You might get like plus 400 on that. And I don't hate that. Like that's probably another play here. But that probably is the play. Like if you're going to play that Lajovic doesn't show up, get some value out of it and go, well, it's
I
320.
agree with that. If you're thinking about going Kubler here, I just don't trust Kubler enough to go there. So I'm probably going to stay away from this.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever back Lajovic here.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm going
You're going
plus.
Kubler there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Livick
Kubler
is a
2-0.
fade for you. Okay.
What?
Livick is a fade for you next
He's
week.
a hard fade. Yeah, I mean, just for this first round, not like overall as a player. Like, but I don't think he's like all of a sudden like a back him as a player either. Like, I think it's like it's a cool run, like good for him, but I don't think it's really very
Yeah.
meaningful.
Yeah. And then Rublev, is he a fade for you in Madrid? Because like it's just a lot of tennis recently.
Yeah, yeah, he's a fade. Well, that's a lot of tennis for him. um, I don't know that like a high bouncing fast court really helps him. Um, like, well, how has he done here in the past?
Last year I think he made quarters, if I remember correctly. Let me see.
You would know stuff like this, Manny.
I do.
Like you would like this is where you're the man. Like
I do watch a lot of tennis. Yeah, he made quarters, lost to Chilich, beat Sinner in the round of 16. Oh no, that's Roland Garros. I'm sorry. Yeah, made quarters, lost to Tsitsipas in 3 sets. Beat Evans height match in the round of 16 and beat Draper in 3 sets.
but I mean, so this is what tells you this is a little bit of a different surface, right? The fact that Draper was competitive with a top 10 guy here.
Yeah.
Is this only the second time he's ever played Madrid?
No, he played in 21. He
Yeah, is
lost.
this only the third time? Sorry, this is this only the third time he's ever played Madrid.
Yeah, he lost to Isner in 21.
Yeah.
3 sets. Like all his matches are like kind of long slugfests. You know, I feel like, you know, as we talk more about Madrid, I just feel like this is a good place to play overs.
Yeah, I
You
think it
know,
is too.
just like on clay. And I actually think maybe stay away from the 3 set line here and go just with the over 21 or 22 here
I
because
agree.
it's just you know, there seems to be like looking at like last year's results and stuff, it just seems to be a lot of close sets because of the altitude.
Well, we again because the altitude, right? Like the serve is going to play up here,
Yeah. Yeah. So he
which
did not.
means you also want you don't mind taking guys who are more serve oriented who want to play quicker points.
Mhm.
Again, part of why you want Kubler against Lajovic.
No, but Kubler doesn't have a big game either,
Doesn't need. I mean,
right?
yeah. All right.
It's not like I don't think the surface is necessarily really going to help him. I don't know. So yeah, so Rublev hasn't been great here. It's definitely not one of his better Masters 1000s. So I think he's a fade. I just think he's played too much tennis.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he's gonna look, you know, do as well as
And
he
again,
can.
like if there's a tournament, like it's actually like if you're really looking at RG as the kingpin here and Rome is like the secondary one, it's
Yeah.
not a terrible thing to get out of Madrid early.
Especially for Rublev, who already won a Masters 1000 this year.
If you
Monte
if you get to
Carlo.
go out of a tournament early, you still get to keep a player's pass, right? For the event. You still get to go back and practice there if you want.
I think he can. I think he can stay as
Like
long.
I'm wondering, like oh, not so much the practice, but you told me there's apparently a good club that's right next to the site. So maybe he gets a
There
few extra nights of
is.
partying in too if he gets out early.
Oh, Madrid is a fantastic event to go to. It truly is the magic box because
Yeah.
yeah, there's a club inside the tournament, like under like in the basement of the magic box, and only ticket holders can go to this club, and they party until like 4:30.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so if you're Andre Rublev and you get a player's pass, you can get into that club, right?
I think that's more for Zverev than for Rublev. Zverev seems like
I don't
more.
know, man. I want to go party with Rublev sometime. I'm hoping
Yeah,
Rublev watches the pod because I hope he's one of our like 10 viewers because I really want to go party with Andre Rublev sometime.
Yeah, he's just such a like a nice, innocent guy.
He's such a likable. He's a likable dude.
Likable
Yeah,
guy.
he's
He
funny.
really is. He really is. Yeah. All right. So next guy we should talk about a little bit about is Kecmanovic. I just think he's a very, very hard guy to bet. He's one of my
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
agree with that 100%.
one of the
Like,
toughest guys to bet
yeah,
because he could play top five tennis like he did against Alcaraz in Miami last year, but he can also just go away in matches and just like his compete level drops significantly at
yeah,
random
he's
points.
just inconsistent day to day. Like,
Yeah.
I also think like, but I do think this is a little overrated here because like he's a guy who needs slow courts,
Mm-hmm.
and then on slow courts, like
I agree with that.
he sort of has he like on slow courts he's usually pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
but not always, which makes him annoying to bet. Um,
But that speaks that he might be a fade in Madrid, right?
oh
Because
yeah, he's a hard fade in Madrid, hard fade.
yeah,
He'll get a seed, I'm assuming. He'll
mm-hmm.
get a seed. He probably has a low seed, like 27 or 28 seed here.
Something like that. Yeah. He plays. Oh yeah, we won't get his. To check the draw and see who he plays the winner of.
Kekmanovic. He played the winner of Garin and Husler. So like, oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh. Ironically enough, if Husler gets through that match, I would actually bet him against Kecmanovic because I think the fast altitude
I don't know if I
actually
like
favors
Husler
Husler.
on actually here at all though. Because it's like it's also so we talk about how it's fast, so that plays up for the serve, but it's also a higher altitude, so the ball's gonna be harder to control. So you don't necessarily love taking guys who are error prone because the ball's gonna be flying.
But Garin is a guy that also needs slow courts.
Oh, I don't like
Right?
anybody in that section. Like those three guys, I like none of them. Like I think they should all lose in the first two rounds, and they should just not have somebody advance. Like so, tennis needs to add a new rule for early rounds of tournaments that they need to have like the tournament director in the stands. And like
Uh-huh.
after the match, they can give like a two thumbs up and advance both guys, or a two thumbs down and throw both guys out if it's a bad match. Like that would motivate these guys who are like way ahead in the match to like try a little harder or like to play a little better. And like if you're down, like maybe you don't need to play that well. You just need to make it like look like a really good match. And you can get the thumbs up and you can move
I
on.
would be cool with that. I'd be cool with
Yeah, it'd be like a mix of tennis and gladiator.
that. Yeah. Well, like just looking at that section, like if O'Connell was the second round opponent for Kecmanovic, I would totally take O'Connell.
That's my point, man. Thumbs down. Just thumbs down that section. Just take the guy out of the
Thumbs
tournament.
down.
No
Yeah.
advancement. Two thumbs down.
Okay. All right. So my best bet for Banja Luka was Lajovic money line over Djokovic. I was thrilled I hit that at plus 700. That might be my bet of the year, to be honest.
Yeah, my dumbest bet was getting greedy there and going with a 3-set line instead of just taking Lajovic to win a set because I felt good about Lajovic, but just and I didn't think he was the right player type to beat Djokovic, which even in retrospect, I don't know, man. Like Djokovic still could have won the second set and still could have won that match,
I know.
even with
He had three
Lajovic.
set points in the second set.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
I mean, it's funny because even Djokovic at 50%, you think that he can win a set against Lajovic. Like you were probably happy after Lajovic won the first set.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
thought that
yeah.
you were going to win that. So,
Yeah.
um,
My best bet was probably Lajovic 2-0 versus Barrera at almost even money. Like, not that it was an amazing hit in terms of like units
that was a
gained,
good
but
hit.
like,
Yeah.
I just like, yeah, I like that's a match. Like, yeah, you look at the two players, and yeah, that should never be a straight setter. But like on this surface, like this is like the worst surface for Barrera and probably the best surface Lajovic could ever hope
Right.
for. Um,
Lechka 2-0 against Albot. That was a good hit.
yeah,
Minus
but then Lechka
120.
turned around and played terrible against Kecmanovic. So like,
Yeah. Yeah. So with Lechka, I mean, he has a lot of talent, but you don't know what Lechka you're going to get.
yeah, yeah. So he's actually moved. So he was in my purgatory list before. He's now gone into my slight fade list, especially here, I think. Um, yeah.
You don't think these Madrid courts favor him?
No, because I get worried, like, because it's a weird a tournament and a different kind of tournament. Like, I don't know, like, it'd be interesting to see, like, how do players fare at altitude? Like, how do certain players fare at altitude? Because I don't have a good feel for this. And like, there are plenty of challenger tournaments that have altitude, but I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, it's
Yeah,
a
it's different,
weird,
different kind of
it's a
tournament.
different kind of event, and like, to me, I'd rather take a veteran here than
So
let
guys
tennis.
that play with like heavy spin, you would think would do better in Madrid because the ball gets up there.
That's what I would think. Yeah, I would think you'd want, but not like defenders, like
So like an
offensive guys are
FAA
really good.
guy is
Like
some
what?
like FAA, for example.
Yeah, or I would think like if Vavrinka would actually do really well. I don't know what Vavrinka's results are here, but I would think like if
Well, he made
Vavrinka
a
would do
final
really
here.
well
He
here.
lost to Nadal in 13. So
Well,
he's
that's
had decent
13.
results. No, but
Yeah,
that
but so I would think a guy like that would play well here. So I'm looking for like big spinny hitters.
okay. Like Alcaraz.
Yeah, yeah,
But he's
yeah. I
gonna
think
make court.
Alcaraz might be one of the better players here at this tournament. He might be one of the better players in the world. Like
Yeah.
I'd say he's top 20. I don't know.
Does Alcaraz not like any court? Like he likes every court.
Grass,
Feels grass.
grass.
But he still felt like he was having fun at Wimbledon. Like he had a big smile on his face, like running every ball down. Like
I mean,
I
he's still having fun, but he's just not as good of a player on grass, right? Like,
right. But it feels like wind never bother like no conditions bother him, right?
no,
He just
no.
he just loves being out there.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get too bothered by too much. I agree.
No. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy windy like it was in Indian Wells. Not even a bother. Slow courts,
Yeah,
fast court. Like it's just he just
yeah,
plays. All
yeah.
right, so
He's
I
just
think
fun
that's
to
a
watch.
perfect transition to Barcelona. Uh, we talked a little about Alcaraz. I mean, I think right now he has to be the clear favorite for Roland Garros. Tsitsipas, um, problems against good opposition. That's my takeaway with Tsitsipas. Even Musetti, who's not like the best of the best, it's just like he has shots that can trouble him. Um, and that won 3 sets. And I think he was up a break also in the first. So like Musetti could have won that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I hear you, but
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I mean,
So
he did so well in Australia at the beginning of the year, and he did so well at the end of last year.
mhm.
So I'm just like, I don't know. But then
So
his
if
clay season hasn't been great. But then again, like
you
he had the
put
shoulder injury for Indian
on
Wells, Miami.
but
So
on
you kind of
clay,
got
do
to
you put
reset
him
a
ahead
little
of
bit.
like Sinner, for example?
What?
On clay, do you put him ahead of Sinner or Holger Rune at this moment?
Not at this moment. But I'm just like confused. Like I think Tsitsipas is going to snap out of this and come back to who he really is.
Okay.
I just think this is like a temporary lull for him.
Well, you better get out of it quickly because French Open is approaching, you know?
Yeah, yeah, but like I don't know. I
The final
mean,
Barcelona, I guess it's all right. I mean, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not even looking at results. I'm just saying like
the
I guess
quality of
it's
his
like in this case,
tennis.
like I get it. So like I understand why this would happen. Like
Mhm.
especially if he was hurt during the Indian Wells and maybe he's still hurt and just not saying anything. You don't know. Like it's all very like so you just don't know. And so I'm hesitant to say like
He seems healthy. To me, like the biggest difference between him at the Australian Open and him now is the way he's hitting the backhand. Like he was hitting the backhand really well in
so
Australia.
wouldn't that tell you? But I mean that if he was hurt and not saying anything, that's what would be impacted is the backhand.
Well, I don't
If you
think
have a
it's a
shoulder
very
injury, the one-handed backhand is not easy.
yeah, but it's been a liability for him his entire like his most of his career, right? It's probably been his
But he
worst.
hit it really well in the Australian Open.
But what I'm saying is that it's kind of like a confidence thing. It's not like a injury thing. Like it takes since it's his like quote unquote weakness. Now that he's healthy, it's going to take him time to get it back. You know,
Well, or it could just be that like because he decided to play through the injury, right? Like, um, it could be a confidence thing in terms of just confidence in the shoulder.
yeah.
I mean, again, this is all speculation and narratives, but like, I don't know. I mean, I hear your overall point short term. Short term, fine. Your point makes sense. I just don't think this is like a long term issue for him. I think this is like a short to medium
We've
term.
always said Tsitsipas is like one of the best attackers in the game, but I feel like if he's forced to play defense on this surface, it's troubling for him. So guys that strike the ball big on both wings, aka Fritz, aka Sinner, aka Alcaraz, it's gonna be trouble for him. Rune, who beat him at the French last year. Like there's a sample size of guys who trouble Tsitsipas on this surface.
So I guess I'll come back the other way and I'll say like if you look at guys he beat in 22, he made the finals in Rome. He beat Zverev, Sinner, and Kachanov. I would say all three of those guys hit the ball pretty big off of both wings.
But Zverev and Kachanov are so one-dimensional and can't come in.
Yeah, but okay, so but if we start okay, so how many guys are good at coming in and have good and hit big off both wings? Like how many players are we talking about?
It takes
now?
a complete. I'm not saying it doesn't take a complete performance. It takes a complete performance to beat him. I'm just saying like coming forward is such a liability for those guys. Like it doesn't have to be. It can be like a Sinner-esque liability, right? But if it's like a huge liability where you're just not comfortable hitting volleys, period, then it becomes problematic because then you.
Oh, but I don't know if Zverev is that bad at the net. Zverev isn't. He's not like I don't know. It's very.
He's not
Like,
Kachanov bad, but he's pretty bad.
I don't know.
So
is he like? Is he better? I think he's better than Sinner at the net.
I think Sinner's problem is not his net game. It's like his like when to come in, like when to transition in. Like he hits so big, and I feel like he hesitates coming in, whereas he should just move forward. Like if he just used those big groundies and just went on, like he doesn't do it on instinct. He just kind of like
that's fair.
Don't really know when the appropriate time is, but I think his volleying is decent.
That's fair. I guess my overall point is like, I don't know, like I guess I don't think Tsitsipas like yeah, I guess like I mean everybody's gonna struggle with the top 5 guys in the world, right? Like if you're telling me he's not Novak Djokovic or Rafa Nadal, like yeah, I'll agree, but like
but again, standards are high.
Alcaraz, no, he's far away from Alcaraz, but like
the standards are high with Tsitsipas. Like we have to judge the Tsitsipas at top 5 standard. He's been there for the last 3 years.
So we're judging like 15 guys in the world now at top 5 standards.
Zverev was top 5, so he deserves that standard.
Medvedev
top 5, huh?
Does team deserve that standard?
No, okay, I'll take it easy on him. But yeah, all right.
I mean,
talking about another top 5 guy, Casper Ruud. What's going on with him?
No idea, man. Like, no, I mean, really, like, I just don't know. I mean, he did Vultra at 250.
He did. He's always been good at 250s, you know. But
yeah.
like,
well, he's been good at 250s and at slams.
Yeah, slams. He's been pretty good. Yeah, I mean that loss to Cerundolo was kind of like alarming because like he was up 5-2 and he blew that lead and then went away in the second. So it was not a good loss by any means.
Yeah. And he lost to Struff in Monte Carlo. That's not a good loss.
No. So I think like with Ruud, like despite the altitude and the conditions being different than the French, like this week is very important for him. Like he needs to win matches and build confidence, you know? So that's
Yeah,
how.
how did you do here last year?
Good question.
I feel like not well.
Would you think the conditions would favor him here? Because like he hits with a lot of spin. His forehand is big.
Yeah, but the backhand's not, the serve isn't. Like, he's okay here. He'd be okay. He lost to Lajovic here first round last year. Or second round, but first round he played. Um,
Yeah. And then the year before, year before he made semis and lost to Berrettini,
okay.
beating Tsitsipas in the process and FAA.
Okay.
So
So some, you know.
yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm neither good nor bad on Rude right now.
I'm bad. I don't like what I'm seeing from him.
I mean, I guess okay. I guess it depends what the Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, if the standard is top 10,
which is where he is currently.
and I
So
guess
yeah,
I guess
it's bad.
it's bad.
It's
But
bad.
I also don't. But I don't think the books are considering him top 10. So it's like hard to like make much of
It
a
is.
statement
It
there. You
is.
know?
That's true. That's true. All right, Sinner. Fitness is an issue. He's not even in Madrid. So that's not good going
When he
forward.
pulled out in the quarters here, which cost me a bet, which was sad because like we had both him and Dimitrov to win their quarters,
I know.
and that was looking great until both guys pulled out. So
Yeah.
that was sad.
Yeah. 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 So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure he's going to turn up for Rome as he's like a home, you know, favorite there. And like, I mean, that's what I think the plan is, right? To get ready for Rome and the French. So
Yeah. Again, if you're gonna miss a tournament, this isn't a bad one to miss. I don't think.
yeah. Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit about ADF and Evans. So ADF, I actually think that this might be a good tournament to back ADF in, right? It's hard
Yeah.
to. It's hard to because
Well, but my computer's now asking me if I'm playing music because they heard my little singing there. But I don't know, man. Like,
he's tough to back because he's so erratic. Like he could
what?
lose to
And
anyone.
erratic scares me on this surface because, like, again, with the altitude, like,
But
the ball could go flying all over the
if
place.
he's firing though, like his shots are gonna penetrate through that court.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. If he's firing, it's good. If he's not, it's terrible. Like he's become like one of my new favorite over 12.5 guys because he's also really good at battling. So like, if he's the favorite, you bet him over 12.5. If he's the dog, you
Mm-hmm.
bet the other guy over 12.5.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it feels like you're gonna have a lot of close sets with him just because like he'll make so many errors, he'll let guys into sets. But he's also gonna battle, so he's not gonna let guys like get away.
Right. Right. I like it too.
And like no lead is safe with him, and no deficit is it
Right.
should be feared. Like it just doesn't. Every point is different. It just doesn't
He's
matter.
righty Shapovalov. He's better righty Shapovalov. That's how I.
Well, but also more mentally. Like he just has
Yeah.
a low tennis IQ, but he's not like mentally unstable,
Yeah.
and he's not like mentally. He's actually pretty mentally strong. He
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't have a good IQ. Like
No. No tennis IQ whatsoever.
he's like his tennis his tennis mental state is like a gym bro. Like he's the mental gym bro of tennis. Like
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way of describing him. He's fun to watch too, for sure.
well, gym bros are fun to watch, man. Gym bros are fun guys to hang out with, fun to watch. Like who does not want to chill out with their gym bros?
That's true.
Hit the gym, get some food, drink some beer. That used to be like a thing. I used to go to the. I used to have a bunch of gym buddies. Back in like right at like my first job after college,
Huh?
and we would like three times a week we would like lift and then go to Whole Foods and eat like a massive amount of food, and
Uh-huh.
then like because it was like organic healthy food and whatnot, and then go drink afterwards.
I wouldn't mind doing that with ADF. That sounds like
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun,
a
fun day.
nice
That'd be a
day.
fun day. Get some tennis in, hit the Whole Foods, get some good food, and
Yeah.
then grab some beer. Yeah,
Yeah, with his ponytail. He does look like a gym bro.
yeah.
And then Dan Evans. He's had a good week. I mean, he's now off the fade list, I would say. He's put
Is
together.
he actually off your fade list, or is he just like moving towards that
He's
direction?
moving away. I got to see a little bit more, but like he's starting to regain his form again, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, like he beat Poprin and Marrakech. Like, I know that's not a great win, but like
Yeah, and then
it's a
he beat
win.
Cerundolo here,
He
right?
beat
Made the
Kachanov here.
semis,
Yeah,
beat
this was a good
Kachanov
week. He
here.
beat Kachanov and Cerundolo.
Good
That was
week.
two impressive wins.
Very good week. That being said, he does match up really well against Kachanov.
He does.
So
He does.
that's like I think going forward, that's a very like if they play again, like that's a head to head you want to watch out with Kachanov
Yeah.
because like I think now there's a clear sample size of him just matching up extremely well. Like that
Yeah.
low slice and all that like helps him. Because
Yeah.
Kachanov doesn't know how to deal with balls that are different. Like he wants just ripping from the baseline. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
If he gets something different, then it's like well, he doesn't know what to do. It's
I
different.
agree.
So yeah. And then my best bets here the last couple of rounds probably Muzetti, Tsitsipas over 2.5 sets. I bet
I
Alcaraz.
didn't lose any money line there, so I was sad face.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's
Hey,
too bad.
Musetti's looked pretty good the past couple of weeks. I think Musetti's
Yes.
good now. Like Musetti is actually
Yeah.
now on my like borderline hit list of like the guys I'd want to back because I do think that was a shoulder. Like he had a shoulder injury. I think he recovered from the injury. He probably played through it during the Golden Swing, which is why it was so bad. And now
Yeah.
he's like back and good to go.
Do you
Um,
think these conditions help Muzetti in Madrid with the altitude?
I think it neither helps nor hurts.
Yeah, he does hit with a lot of spin, but he plays a little bit too defensively, right? So that might hurt him. Against a big server, I don't know if I would want to back him
Yeah,
there.
but his serve is decent, Musetti. Like I don't know. I don't think he's not. I don't know.
Nico Yari, that might be a guy that we might want to back here in Madrid.
Yeah, yeah. Or you know who else would be a good guy? I wonder how. I don't know how he's done, but like Hercash might be a great guy to back here. Serve and push might be the play on this surface.
Yeah, well, okay, I think that's a good way to transition into draw talk, right? Because I want to see where the
Yeah,
bets are in the draw.
yeah.
So, well, let's get up
The draw. There's nothing more exciting than seeing the draw come out for these
oh,
tournaments.
it's so amazing. So amazing. Although I do think that overall this is a weak draw for Masters 1000.
Yeah. I was think it's really dumb that they have this random draw. Like they could just seed the players and just have like one play 32 in the third round all the time, and it wouldn't matter. Like 32 is going to change every single week.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't like the like 4 should be with 1 and 3 should be with 2.
yeah.
Like
I mean, I
why?
think they should just line up the whole draw. Like I don't understand why they don't. Like I said, like so if you think that the three should be with 2 and 1 should be with 4, like everything below that is going to change all the time regardless.
Yeah. 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 All right. So top half of the draw, you got Alcaraz as the 1 seed. He'll play the winner of Ruusuvuori against Humbert. Emilio Nava a wild card. He'll play Gregoire Barrère. Dimitrov is the first seed that Alcaraz could meet in the third round. Sebastian Korda's back. It's good to see him healthy again. He'll play the winner of Schwartzman or a qualifier. Carballes Baena will play Goffin, and will play the winner of Zverev. Kachanov is in this section. He'll play the winner of Montero and a qualifier. Quentin Halys will play or Paparin will play Bautista Agut. Nishioka is in this section. He's a seed here. We'll play the winner of Wu and Molchan. And then you got Maxime Cressy and Stan Wawrinka will play Rublev. So what catches your eye in this quarter?
This is a cakewalk for Alcaraz. I mean, this whole tournament is, but this quarter's a cakewalk. Like Rublev's played out, so he's a fade to me here.
Mhm.
Um,
And I
and
think
he
those are
should
good
be
guys.
terrible.
To me,
What?
what catches my eye is that those two guys, Cressy or Wawrinka, are actually good guys to bet when you're fading Rublev on this court.
Yeah, I think so. I actually think that I think Wawrinka could be a sneaky play here to win this quarter. Like I don't know what the futures are on that. Like, but you might be able to get like 20-1 or 40-1 or something insane. And
Mhm.
it's a lot of matches he's got to win to get there, but there are off days in between. And like if he could beat Cressy, he could beat
Mhm.
Rublev,
Mhm.
and then you just
Yoshi,
need like somebody
Molchan,
to take out what?
and then that's an easy section then because Yoshi is the not non-factor on clay, Molchan and Wu. Then you got RBA, Halis, and Kachanov.
Yeah.
It's a pretty weak section.
Yeah.
The problem is that Alcaraz is in the section. So, if Wawrinka has to win the
Well, no,
quarter,
but that's why you're getting something ridiculous, like like you. I mean, I'm gonna look up to what the odds are there, but like in terms of futures, like
the quarter odds are not up because the qualifiers haven't been placed, unfortunately.
oh, they took him down or what? That sucks. Damn it. There were futures up like just an hour ago, but they took him down. Oh no, they're up,
Oh,
but
they're
it's
up.
just
Okay.
oh yeah, they're
Yeah.
up. But there's no quarters. You're right. There's just fun to
There are
make
no
the
quarter
final.
winners. I think they wait until all the qualifiers are placed.
I mean, Vavrinka. Oh wait, did they just no? Vavrinka to make the final is 100-1. That's kind of appetizing in like a Lorenzo Sonego, Bernabe, Zapata Morales kind of way, right? But like, it's not a terrible draw. Like, yeah, I know that. Like, I know he's got to play Rublev in the second round. Like, that's like that's not like that's a surprise. That's like a sneaky okay spot. And then like I don't know, like what's the match that he can't win here? It's just Alcaraz, right? Like I'd say he's close to a favorite, if not a favorite. Like I don't think he's more than plus 150 versus anybody in this quarter except for Alcaraz.
I would agree with that. I actually
So
think
you're just hoping
Halis is a sneaky pick here.
Halise is a sneaky pick as well. Halise is 150-1 to make the final. I like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually like both of those guys more than Kachanov, to be honest with you.
yeah, yeah.
Because like Kachanov, we know has absolutely no shot against Alcaraz. Like you're gonna get a way worse price than Kachanov, but he's gonna get wrecked by Alcaraz 2-1. So it doesn't like why would you take that at a worse price, than you can get Halis or Wawrinka. We're not saying that we don't think that like they're gonna beat Alcaraz, but like there's no point in taking Kachanov there. So
Yeah, well, I mean, Kachanov is 25-1 to make the final. Like, I mean, 25-1 is pretty long odds for a guy who's like, I mean, but you're right. Like, he can't be, like, the problem is, like, yeah, I don't know. It's the end of this tournament gets really tough once he makes the round,
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Um, but
It's too bad quarter odds are not up yet, but we'll post on Twitter what our quarter futures we
yeah,
like when they come out.
but I think those are two I like. Zverev did make the finals here last year.
He
No
did.
draw is a good draw for Zverev right now, but this draw is, I don't know, not great.
I mean, he
Oh,
should.
no.
He should get
What?
to he should get to the round of 16.
Well,
You also don't know what kind of court is going to show up. you
We
know?
haven't seen Porter playing forever. Yeah.
So, yeah. So we don't know what kind of Corda is going to show up, but he should get to the round of 16. But the draw is not that good because he has to play Alcaraz before the quarterfinals. Like that's terrible.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yeah.
match
And
with
I think he
last
lost the
year's
final here
champion.
to Alcaraz like 3-1 or badly last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, Zverev did beat him at the French Open last year, but
That's true. He did.
he did. But like Zverev is far away from that player, and like I feel like Alcaraz just has more. Like he's better this year than he was last year. I feel.
And I don't think you're going to get Zverev better than like 5-1 to win the quarters. The books are liking Zverev a lot. The books has Zverev as the fourth favorite to make the books has Zverev at or this is Bovada, but Bovada's got Zverev at
He's
yeah
18-1 to
18 to
win the
1.
event.
It is Zverev. They have Zverev at 18-1 to win the tournament.
Fourth favorite. It's
Yeah, I don't.
probably because of his past results, like making the final. He also won here in, I think, 18.
So long ago, though.
So it's a long, long time, but
I mean, I don't. I'm not. 18-1 is not good in my mind. Or yeah, 18-1 is not good here in my mind. Like I just don't see like. I think it's like 7-1 he beats Alcaraz, if that. Like, would you take Zverev at plus 700 against Alcaraz?
no, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, I would struggle to take Tsitsipas at 7-1 to beat Alcaraz at this moment. Maybe seven to
right. So how can you back Zverev? Because like,
exactly, exactly.
yeah,
That's my point.
yeah, you're not backing nobody's backing. You're not backing Zverev here. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
this is
All
just
right.
like
Next quarter?
Dimitrov. What about Dimitrov? Could Dimitrov beat Alcaraz?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Alcaraz took him to the woodshed in Paris on Dimitrov's favorite surface.
Yeah.
So, absolutely not. I don't. What happened with Dimitrov? Like, why did he withdraw from Barcelona? Was it because of that $70,000
I have
money
no
getting
idea.
stolen?
I have no idea.
Or,
But he played a match, but after that, didn't he? After the watch got stolen.
yeah, he won one match and
Yeah,
then
and then retired. I don't know, man.
fired. So, but yeah, I mean, Alcaraz beat him 1-3 in Paris.
Yeah.
His preferred surface. Like Dimitrov loves that indoor fast hard court, and Alcaraz took him to the
Right.
woodshed. So no, absolutely not. So I think it's a great draw for Alcaraz, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the play here is you can go Wawrinka or not Wawrinka. You can go, yeah, Wawrinka. You go Wawrinka or Halise's long shots, like
Mm-hmm.
super, super long shots,
Yeah.
and then go Alcaraz.
He's probably going to be like minus 350 to win the quarter, right?
He's minus 110 to win the tournament.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm probably going to just stay away from this quarter and
All right, down to the next quarter.
so next quarter, Casper Ruud is the high seed.
He plays a qualifier in the first round.
Mhm.
Greek Sport is the first seed he could face. I like Greek Sport here, actually.
I do too. I think this court actually is going to favor him.
Yeah.
Um, and then Carreno Busta, we haven't seen much of him at all this year.
No, we haven't. I mean, this is a great draw. This is a great draw from Musetti. He gets Farias for a qualifier. Boost is his seed. I mean,
Got Hubie Hurkacz in this quarter. Play the
well, I
winner.
think it's actually a sneaky good play here. I don't know how Hurkacz has played here in the past, but I think like his style to me seems like it should play like serve and push. I think should play pretty well in these conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, Chardy is back. He's not playing.
Nice.
He's not playing Galan though, so he's going to lose probably, right?
Oh, but he's playing Gaston. That's another. That's a winnable match actually for
It is. It is.
Shardy.
Oof, look at this little section. Coric and then Gaston and Chardy. One of those guys is going to make third round. Oof, thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like that, like one of those guys is gonna make the third round, but yet like we can't get Wawrinka and Rublev into the third round.
I know. I know.
Like,
Yep. That's tennis for you, man.
yeah.
ADF is in this section. He'll play the winner of Ramos, Vinolas, and Ivashka. Bublik will play Galan. There's our guy Galan, and then Holger Rune is the other seed in this section. So, or the sixth seed, the other top seed. So, man, I like Hubie here.
I like Hubie too. I actually like for this quarter, I like Hubie.
Well, I also think Rune, that shoulder thing and that ankle thing is a question mark. And plus, he's played a lot of tennis too. So you could kind of put him in the Rublev boat too, right? Where he's just
played. Right. And then like Fokina is always interesting, but he's always like terrifying as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like and Hubie's section is just terrible. Like he can't beat Landaluce or Gasquet. He can't beat Chardy or Gaston. He like, how does he lose to any of those other guys? And how does Hubie not make the fourth round here?
I'd be shocked if he didn't make the fourth round. And I think he's going to play ADF.
Probably.
Because I don't know how
what about Rune's body?
Rune.
So like,
I mean, Rune should get through Bublik or Galan even at 50%. Yeah. But yeah, that's a tough match.
Look at something here. I mean, Hubie to win this tournament is 50-1.
I actually like that as a long shot because Hubie is a guy that plays anyone tough, right? He goes over 22.5 against anyone.
Yeah, anyone, literally anyone. And like, I think also partially because of the serve, and like I think he actually thinks he can beat anyone.
Yeah, he's not intimidating.
Like, he's one of the few guys I think can end up against he's one of the few guys who I think can end up against wow. Okay. This has to be hit. This is hilarious. Hubie is 50-1 to make the final, but he's 50-1 to win the tournament, but he's 250-1 to make the final on Bovada.
Is it because Alcaraz is in the top half of the draw?
Well, no, it makes no sense, right? Like,
it doesn't make
any sense. That he's 50, like they're saying he's a better chance to win the tournament than he does to make the final.
So it has to be hit.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The bet is pending. I got the dreaded blue screen from Bovada. My bet has to be personally approved.
Oh Jesus!
Which means that there's no way that's going to get accepted.
Again, Bovada, we're open to being hired if you want someone to check your lines.
I mean, really, it must have been they just missed a zero, which is probably what they've realized, and they're probably going to come back. So watch. I bet you all the lines of players to make the final are about to go down in about a minute. I think I just disturbed Bovada again. Like, I need to figure out how to do this. Like, maybe if I just put in $21 bets or $101 bets, maybe they wouldn't notice, and I could bet they can make big bets that way. Because clearly this betting a full unit is not working because it's Bovada's catching my shenanigans.
Well, let me what if I place it? Yeah, bet is pending approval.
You have the same blue screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah, there's no way that gets approved.
But 50-1 to win the title, I don't mind that.
That seems pretty good to me.
I actually don't mind that play.
No, I mean, he's got a weak draw. He's the right player type. It's the right surface for him. Yeah.
And the draw to get to the 16 is amazing. right? Rune is questionable with the health. You got Rude as the other top seed in the quarter. Busta is, we don't know what we're going to get from him. Muzetti too. I mean, he should get to the semis. And then obviously Alcaraz is the tough match, but Alcaraz still has to win 4 matches. And then I would take my chances there. So I think that's a great play. I like that a lot. I'm gonna hit that right now.
Are you going to be able to?
Yeah, that one you are. You are.
You didn't get the blue screen?
I didn't get the blue screen for the outright.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he made the quarters here last year, lost to Djokovic. I guess it's amazing. Like these guys, like I guess with COVID, like a lot of these tournaments, these guys don't have that much experience in. But like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I mean, he's got a quarters run here. He lost to Millman here. That's bad. But like,
yeah, that is bad.
I was like, don't sugarcoat this one. There's no way you could possibly sugarcoat.
Yeah, but
no, disappointing. They fixed it.
They fixed it. What is it now?
25-1. They got the 0 right.
Okay. I think I like more value on the outright because he has
they're equal.
He has to beat Alcaraz to make the final.
Yeah, but I think like I don't think like if he makes the final, I actually prefer. Well, so maybe he doesn't have to be Alcaraz, right? Maybe somebody else took the job for him.
It's unlikely, but yes.
But like, so here Hubie could beat anyone. He also could lose to anyone,
but not to anyone in his little section.
No. But like anyone in the final. Like, is he really better than 50-50 once he makes the final?
No, he's going to be a dog, most likely.
So then you'd prefer the 25-1 to make the final.
But you're getting double that.
Yeah, which means he has to be 50%. So it means just in terms of pure rollover, it means he has to be a favorite to win in order for that to be better.
I would take my chances. I would rather. I like the outright better.
All right.
If Alcaraz was in the other half of the draw, I would prefer the final.
Well, duh, right? But I think this is a case where like
the thing is, Alcaraz is so clearly the favorite here that I have to go on that logic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, there's no one in the bottom half that like he might be a dog against some of the players in the bottom half, but like I think they're all beatable, to be honest. Like just skimming it.
Yeah, but just like pure math, right? Pure math says, like I said before, like pure math, it's 25-50, right? So it's double, which means that like if he makes the final, does he have a more or less than 50% chance of winning it? I think it's less.
Okay. Pure math, then yes. So which one are you hitting? Both?
I hit the 25-1.
25.
They're correctly 25-1 line.
Okay.
Still is so disappointing. Yeah, so actually it's sad because Bovada told me if I had bet half a unit or less, they would have accepted it. So I could have got my 250-1 on half a unit. Which is just so
that's sad.
My greed does me in once again.
Too bad.
All
right, so next section of draw.
Well, I guess let me look at this a little more. I'm not sure. Fokina is 40-1 to make the final. To me, that's not quite good enough. It's close, but not quite. But man, if Rune doesn't play, this is a dream section.
It is. And Fokina and Hurkacz played last year in Madrid, and it was a third set tiebreak, which doesn't surprise me.
You might have to take them both. I'm going to take them both.
Yeah, and Fokina played
So
her catch.
Fokina is 50-1 on the outright, like her catch, but he's 40-1 to make the final, which means
Yeah,
that Bovada's telling me he has an 80% chance to win if he makes the final. That I don't think is true.
no. All right, so I'm hitting Fokina to make the final then.
Yeah, 40-1.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, next quarter, you got FAA is the 7th seed. He'll play the winner of Kubler and Lajovic, which we touched on in the last segment. Sonigo is there. He'll play Sonigo or qualifier will play the winner or will play Ben Shelton. Cerundolo will play the winner of Shelby and Kachin. Thumbs down. Echeverry and Monterino. They're playing the first round match and they'll play the Tiafo. Tommy Paul will play the winner of qualifier or Nico Yari. Mackie McDonald will play Zapata Morales, and that winner will play Dan Evans. You got Baez in this quarter. Will play either Borges or Giron. Edmund and Team, the winner of that will play Sissipas. So what catches your eye here?
A lot of guys we haven't seen much of.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I
well, have
feel
we seen Etch and Etch did come on? What have we seen of Etch lately since Houston?
mm,
Oh, he beat Andujar and he lost to Fokina. That's right. He lost to
in
ADF.
Barcelona, yeah.
Yeah. Because like maybe that's interesting. Um, and we just talked about him, right? Nico Yari's interesting, but the books actually have him priced pretty high here. So I don't know that actually the price is very good there, but he does have a nice draw. Like,
He does. I actually think Tommy Paul is vulnerable here.
yeah.
Like if
I think
Yari
Evans could be kind of
Paul,
fun
what
here.
do you think the line is if Yari plays Paul? I think Paul will be like a minus 150 or 165, 160, or do you think they're
He
gonna
might be like, I think it'll be closer to even money. Like, just because we
really?
haven't seen Paul play in so long. Well, not so long as he played Houston, right? And he lost to Hoffman. That's the last time we saw him.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like,
Yeah.
can Baez beat Tsitsipas?
No.
Even this version, he can't.
Because Baez actually doesn't have a great backhand.
I doesn't have a great anything. He just moves really well.
Right.
His game is actually pretty good, and his net game's surprisingly good. But like, he's just I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't think he serves well enough. Like on this clay court, you're actually going to need a good serve,
Yeah.
you know? So anyone besides Sissipas can win this quarter? FAA,
No.
depending on what
Yeah.
we can't really bet him because we don't know what FAA is going to turn up. We
Well,
have
that's why I was looking at Etch
months.
because Etch is kind of fun here, but I don't
He
really
is,
think
but
he is
he just
fun.
played like I think the Houston courts actually like are better for Etch than here with the altitude.
Yeah.
And he lost to Tiafo there.
Yeah.
So I can't favor Etch here. I could actually what about Tiafo?
The only thing we saw was Houston, right? Like we haven't seen a whole lot of tennis out of him.
How has Tiafo done here in the past?
Good question. The other thing I don't love is that he's got to play like he probably plays Etcher Manarino in the first round. If he has to play Etch, I don't like that. Like if you're trying to bet a guy
Yeah,
to go far, like he could lose that match to Etch very easily. There was two
he
tie
could.
breaks last.
Yeah. Yeah, that's maybe a match I would bet Etch in, but like I just don't think he has any potential to win the quarter Etch. Like Cerundolo then would be tough after beating Tiafo. Then
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
FAA, even Sonigo, like it's
I agree with
tough.
you. There's just nothing here that's interesting. Like to me, that's interesting. Like
Yeah, it's not a very interesting quarter. It's kind of I'm curious to see how these guys turn up though. You know,
yeah,
like I'm really curious to see FAA.
I'm curious to see him, but I don't want to bet him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Team plays Edmund. Edmund's in the tournament. Let's go.
Are you gonna bet team -5.5?
Oh, it's 5.5. I'm actually gonna
Probably.
stay away. 5.5 is so much for team.
I don't know. I didn't see the line, but that's what I'm guessing it is.
Oh, I don't think it's gonna be that high.
Uh, 5.
I'm hoping for 3. It's 5.
5.
The books are so
You're
obsessed
hoping
with
for
2.
3? You were never gonna get 3 on that.
Yeah,
Not in a million years would you get 3 on that.
it's just team is like not good either.
Yeah, Husler took him to 3 tight sets.
Yeah.
So
But back to this quarter, man. I don't know. I just don't like this quarter at all. Like it's
yeah, I
just
don't
such a
like the
junk
quarter.
quarter.
Yeah.
I guess Tiafo could be kind of fun, right? Like maybe we win, but like it's like But I think the books are gonna give you are you even getting 30 to 1 on him to win the tournament? You're getting 66, 18 to make the final. So like a 66 to 1 out right here is kind of fun on Tiafo. It's a weak draw, so they wouldn't have to play the toughest guys until the latest rounds, right?
Yeah. True. And I think this is probably the best clay court for him, right?
Yeah.
I think the altitude is actually good for him.
It is.
Um, I think he's a guy that I'm gonna bet to win the quarter, but not the tournament. Like I think once the lines come out, I'm gonna see what because you probably get what like 8 to 1 or 9 to 1 to win the quarter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
something like that. Something
that's
like
what I'm
that.
gonna do. So all right, last quarter. Fritz will play the winner of O'Connell and Krajinovic. Garin and Husler will play Kecmanovic. Shapovalov will play the winner of qualifier or Zhizheng Zhang. Corentin Mutet and a qualifier will play Nori. Thumbs down. Demonor gets a bye and will play the winner of Fushabaker qualifier. Qualifier Laszlo Gere will play Bodig van de Zandschulp. Lechka is in this quarter, and he'll play either JJ Wolf or a qualifier, and then Andy Murray or a qualifier will play Medvedev. So a lot of qualifiers in this section. The bottom half is weak, man.
It's so chalky here. But in my mind, this is clearly Medvedev or Fritz. I mean, there's nobody else, right?
Yeah. But this is like really bad conditions for Medvedev.
Why?
Because we talked about it. We were like, oh, he needs um like guys that hit with heavy spin do well here, right? And he
Yeah,
doesn't.
but he does his speed will play up here a little bit more because it's a faster court. And then
His serve will be good here, I guess.
yeah.
So if he plays Lechka in the third round, are you gonna back Medvedev there.
Yeah. Well, I gotta see how he does against Murray or like whoever he plays in the second round. Well, yeah, really. I guess I think that's yeah, I probably would. Yeah, I mean it's straight like just like a straight pool win the match. I think so. Um,
Mhm.
it sucks that VDZ just had that choke job against Rune because if he had beaten Rune, I would actually like him in this quarter quite a bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I look at this and like there's just nobody. I think you left like nothing else but Fritz.
Yeah, I wonder what the quarter odds will be here. Is like, will Fritz be the favorite and Medvedev be the second favorite, or vice versa?
Yeah.
I wonder what the books are going to place that at. Because like there are a lot of fade guys here. Kecmanovic, like after it's a faster clay court, so we talked about it before. Like he's a fade here. Chapo is a fade.
How do you like Fritz here at 20-1 to make the final?
Ooh, I
Like
like that.
he should be able to get through to the fourth round.
I like that a lot.
Nori's struggling. That's the only that's the only in my mind. Like Nori's the toughest match from this section, but Nori's struggling.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about you're in the quarters and you get somebody in that bottom section. I mean, Medvedev's kind of tough, but that's really it there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then he just beat Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo.
yeah,
I liked it a lot, actually. I'm hitting that. A unit and a half on that one.
all right. We gotta hit one of these futures, man.
Mm-hmm. In terms of long shots to win outright, Fritz is 33-1 to win outright.
I prefer the 20-1 to make the final.
I agree.
And when we talk about Hubie, Hubie's not terrible at 50.
Mm-hmm. Tiafo, 66-1.
His draw is actually kind of like Edge could be kind of tough though in the second round.
I actually like betting guys to make the final on the bottom half of the draw.
Well, yeah, obviously it's enough by Alcaraz.
Yeah. But uh, I wish we saw FAA play in like Barcelona. We would have like
I know.
something to back ourselves on there.
Yeah.
Yari 20 now.
I don't really see anything else. This is all I see here.
Yeah, I'd rather bet Hurkacz there than at 25-1 too. Like
Yeah.
it's weird that Hurkacz and Yari are the same.
I know. I know.
It's wild. So, all right, I think that's it, to be honest. And then obviously we're going to bet some quarters. So, are you there? All right, so I guess we lost Brad. So that does it for our Madrid Open futures picks and draw talk. We will be back tomorrow with round one matches, and then we'll probably be back either Friday or Saturday to do second and third round. And we always like to do the round of 16 as well. So plenty of pods coming up, and we'll obviously post picks on Twitter as we always do. And thanks again for the support and the conversation. We appreciate it very much. So have a good night, guys. Thank you.